what does a dead senator like Mitch McConnell care about public opinion? It's questionable how much he knows about it anyway.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't even know that he knows what's going on. If he does know what's going on, he's only trying to protect himself and his whatever Democrat people who are holding his next injection to see
Trump has
one more
said that
sunrise, you know?
Trump has said that the SAVE Act is going to happen regardless. That means he'll institute it via executive order if he has to. Now, the problem with that is it's going to be tied up in courts, and it's going to be a bit of a, you know what I mean? I don't know if it'll work
Uphill
its way out in
battle.
time for way more than Congress just doing what they should do.
Right.
I mean, shouldn't we have secure elections?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were saying last week, guys, if you just everyone, please ask if you are in face to face with someone who thinks that this is a bad idea to require ID to vote. Just ask them, name one country in the world where you can just stroll across the border, plant yourself for any period of time, and then say, hey, I'd like to vote in their next election. Just ask if there's any country that lets you do that.
Well, how about the Democratic National Convention?
Okay.
Can you just stroll in there and vote without an ID?
No?
They just letting anybody in? Welcome, everyone, to Todd's World, the wildly opinionated news hour. Carrie's here with me. We come at you every week to give you all the news you need to know. Well, maybe not all of it, but some of it anyway.
It's all the news I need.
We try to hit the big stuff.
Besides the Olympic stuff, you got to get that elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, I did have an Olympic thing this week. I saw that was actually, I saw it. Hold on, I'll find it quick.
Okay.
Because it was just kind of a little one-off. And I thought, I give the Olympics some shit when things are good. And that one I played that was good, you pointed out was like 4 years old.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Poor black girl. I don't remember what her name was.
I hope you are I hope you are going to.
So no, this is a good, I don't know.
I hope you're going to play
Sorry,
with
guys. We're coming at you.
We're coming in hot.
From America's heartland.
Yep.
Right down the middle. You got the left coast and the crazy East Coast. We make sense of it. Even though Carrie's on a coast,
I am.
It's Florida. So that's still America's heartland.
You know what? Let's call Florida the most sensible coast.
I think so.
The free
Michigan
coast.
Doesn't really have coast. We have shores.
We're the free coast. How about that? The free state of Florida.
I didn't save it because I wasn't going to do anything with it. But I've been keeping an eye on Ron DeSantis in Florida and what he's doing down there and getting rid of property taxes.
Well,
and
God
you know
willing.
what? He continues to do like just pretty amazing stuff. I hope that Ron DeSantis has a place in the coming administrations post-Trump.
I hope.
I think he just gets things done, and I like it.
Yes, I love him. We're really blessed to have him as governor, and I'm glad that. I
know him and Trump got in kind of a tiff and whatever, but
did.
I really believe Ron DeSantis is a young guy here. I look at him like a Rubio or like a Vance.
Yep.
I see a future leader for decades in the Republican MAGA party.
And if not, I hope he just stays right here and keeps our state like.
Yeah, isn't his wife going to run for governor or something?
Normal.
What? Am I crazy?
His wife?
I thought what's her name?
Casey.
I don't remember.
Cassie?
I heard she was going to run for governor and like in the primary against like Byron Daniels or Donalds. He's the black guy, right? He's running.
Okay, so wait, what do you mean? Like for a Senate or something?
Like, no, for governor. Like DeSantis is term limited out after this term.
Oh.
And so I believe his wife is going to run from everything I've heard. Am I wrong about that?
I have not heard that, but that's really interesting.
I thought
they are.
Anyway,
this
is the Olympics, Carrie.
I'm so excited you're going to show this.
The girls, the girls and boys
the women.
in Olympics. I just want everybody to know there's only girls and boys. This is girls.
Women. The girls.
The women's hockey team.
Look at them.
Won the gold, I think, or something.
Yes, they beat Canada too, which is like, yeah.
Oh Yeah, how much do we hate Canada these days?
We just love
So they took
we
over.
just love the US way
They
more.
took the gold, and look at their celebration.
Mesdames et messieurs, si vous le
They're
pouvez,
wrapping themselves
veuillez
in
vous
the
lever
American
pour l'hymne
flag.
des États-Unis d'Amérique. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand
If
for
you
the
can.
anthem of the United States of America.
I love this.
You think you got to tell people if you can stand, you should stand? Or do you think that maybe those who can't stand probably weren't going to anyway?
Look at this. Woo!
There they go. Look at them. Oh, that's a Swiss flag. So it must have been United States, Canada, and Switzerland?
Switzerland won the bronze.
Okay.
Look
Look at them. Look at how proud they are to be Americans. I
at
love
that.
that.
It's beautiful.
There's still some good athletes.
There really
Probably
are.
a lot of them.
There really are.
Probably most are like proud to be Americans, proud to be competing for America.
Mhm.
And like everything else the press does, it's just, they focus on the ones that make a
Yeah.
horrible name for everybody.
Look
Be
at
my
that.
guest.
I love it.
Look at them wrapping themselves in the flag. This is our Olympic update, people.
Woo! It's almost
they're-
over. I'm just kind of
The
sad.
American girls are all like holding each other, arms around each other,
wonder if-
singing the
I know.
Star Spangled Banner.
Right. For anyone who's just listening and not watching, he's showing this clip of the whole team is singing the whole national anthem. It's awesome. They're so excited. I wonder if any of these ladies play
Look at 'em
soccer.
go.
Because we could use some of this spirit on the women's U.S. soccer team.
We could. Those
you
were the
think?
ones that were the worst, right? In the last Olympics,
That
the Summer
and
Olympics.
it's what came to mind when I saw how excited and how proud they were, how patriotic they were. That's exactly what came to mind was why is the soccer team like the opposite of this?
Yeah,
It just doesn't
that is
make
a
any
good
sense.
question.
But do you know about the men's? So do you know about the men's hockey team?
Men's. What did they win or no?
So they
I don't know.
okay. Here's the rest of the Olympic update.
It's college basketball season. Karen. I
Yes,
can't
you can
bother
update
myself
us on
with the
that in a minute.
Olympics.
I'm always clueless. I'm here for your short Olympic update. The men's U.S. hockey team beat Slovakia yesterday in the semifinals, and
Oh.
Canada beat Finland, which means tomorrow morning, which is
it's America and
Sunday.
Canada
So this
again?
will be over by the time this goes to air. But they are playing. The men's are playing. U.S. is playing Canada for the gold, just like the women did.
Oh,
Tomorrow
look at that.
morning.
That's awesome.
So we're looking for like a exciting
Looking for a double win
double win tomorrow.
in hockey,
Woohoo!
of all things.
I love it.
Where is?
And we kind
is
of
this-
crushed Slovakia like 6-2.
Did you?
Yeah, I feel bad for the goalie. Just didn't even see some of them coming. I don't know what was going on. What's up?
In Canada. Speaking of Canada,
Mhm.
I was looking for a better. Canada has this. What do they call it? They call it the MAID Act, and it
Okay.
has to do with assisted. It's euthanasia, is what it comes down to.
Oh,
So they
of
kill people.
humans?
They kill their
Okay.
own people.
Okay.
And I wanted to give these out. MAID is what it's called.
Are they going to line
There
up the
have
ladies'
been-
hockey team for this after
There
their
have
loss?
been more people killed by the Canadian government assisted suicide program this year. It's only February. Than the totality of every American mass shooting in America's history.
What?
How about that?
Okay,
Yeah,
I
let
want
me
you
give
to
you the
read that
stats.
again. Please read that again.
Let me give you the stats.
Okay.
This is
More
oh man, I can barely read that.
more
As of February
assisted
20,
suicide.
that's why I'm not putting it up, guys, is because it's
Okay.
so blurry I can barely read
Okay.
it. The claim made, okay.
More
relies on
assisted
account according to the
suicide
official
in
data of both
Canada.
countries. Yeah, in Canada, current estimates, there were 16,500 made provisions. That means deaths, euthanized, assisted suicides in Canada for the first weeks of 2026. I am trying to see. Okay, that looks like it's wrong. It looks like it's around the Grok is correcting this and says it's in the realm of around 3,000. So maybe this is medical assistance in dying has grown rapidly in Canada since 2016, with over 76,000 total cases reported up to 2024. So in 2024, there were 16,500 MAID deaths, representing a significant portion of all the deaths nationwide in Canada. Key statistics indicate a median age of 7.7 years, with cancer being the most common condition.
Wait, what was the average?
So
What was the average age?
77, almost
Oh,
78 years.
okay. Sorry, I thought you said 7, and I was like, what? Okay.
So in Canada,
Yeah.
the annual deaths for 2024 were 16,500. Total request. Okay, this is odd. Total request in 2023, there was 19,660 requests for assistance in dying.
Okay.
15,300 of them resulted in death.
Okay. Almost all.
So
if
they're
you're
killing off
a
their own
retiree,
people.
so if you're a retiree with cancer, you can just get killed in Canada.
Yes. But it's not just that. This is what I wanted to bring that up.
Okay.
Matt Walsh retweeted something here. I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
On Canada specifically. Where'd it go? I know I'm almost there.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, here it is, guys. I'll put this up so we can.
Okay.
This one's a little easier to see.
And do I sound normal? The mic is just
You sound fabulous, Carrie. You're coming straight out of the America heartland
from the free
to the
coast of
country.
Florida.
Listen, guys, I want you to know that this show, you probably think it's carefully scripted. This show is completely improvisational. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm like Candace Owens, struggling for my words.
I think that today, if you've just started listening, you can tell that we are not scripted.
We make it sound so good.
Yeah.
But everything you're hearing is stream of consciousness. That's what I learned from the amazing Rush Limbaugh for 30 years, listening every day or nearly every day to an icon. And every day he got in front of it and he just did his stream of consciousness and went. That's what we do. We are carrying on the Rush Limbaugh legacy.
Oh, boy. I
Okay,
never
here's
thought
Matt
I would
Walsh.
be here. Okay.
You're lucky, Gary.
Yeah,
Matt Walsh says, I'm not being at all ironic when I say there's a better argument for invading and overthrowing the Canadian regime than there is for invading and overthrowing anyone else. This is a country committing unspeakable atrocities right next door. And what he reposts is a Daily Mail article that says a distraught family blast Canada for euthanizing son, 26 years old, who suffered from seasonal depression.
Wow.
So most of them are old people, but not by any stretch all. When you start killing people, when the state starts making it its mission not to promote life, but to promote death for its own citizens, there are no guardrails anymore.
Sure.
There's nothing to keep things right between the lines. It just that lack of any kind of respect for the dignity of life just infects a culture and kind of pervades it. So
that's devastating.
Good for them that they're losing at hockey. Maybe there's a lot on the line, though. Maybe the entire team gets euthanized if they lose.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, they're all
I don't know.
They're going to line those ladies up on their way back in. They're like, they're going to defect to Italy. Wow.
The biggest news of the week. Do you know what it was, or don't you?
The biggest news of the week. You know what?
Here, Carrie.
I don't. I don't know the biggest news of the week. Although sometimes when you say stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I did hear about that. Tell me.
The biggest news of the week happened yesterday. I would say.
Oh, I know of like a Hollywood death.
Oh, what happened?
Couple this week.
Who?
Well, Robert Duvall.
Yeah, Bobby Duvall died.
Eric
true.
Eric.
He was good.
Eric Dane.
Dane, yeah. Nikki told me that.
So sad.
I recognized him from something.
From Grey's Anatomy.
I never watched Grey's Anatomy, but
so
I think
good.
he was on Justified.
Okay. Yeah. What else?
So yeah,
he was also on Euphoria for our younger listeners. He was someone in Euphoria.
Oh, okay. I tried Euphoria back in the day, and I didn't. I thought this seems like it's for an alien culture. I don't even know
it was
like what
kind
is
of like,
going on.
yeah, it was kind of like, are you trying so hard to be this like disturbing? But yeah,
I just thought maybe I'm that old. I didn't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I love Sydney Sweeney like everybody else in Euphoria, but other than that, I didn't really know what was going on.
I
half
love
the
Sydney Sweeney, but
time.
I didn't love her character in it at all. She was
I
little,
barely remember trying, and
yeah,
I like I said, everybody knows I'm not a big TV watcher,
yeah.
so I don't. I
So
occasionally will give things a chance, but the biggest story
I
of the
suspect
week
those are
happened
not the
yesterday.
big stories. Go for it.
No,
Okay.
the biggest story of the week was the Supreme Court came out with a 6-3 decision
I
yesterday,
have not heard
and what
this.
was trumpeted all over the news media was that the Supreme Court overturned Trump's tariff authority. And that was the story. And it was plastered everywhere. Trump's tariffs are overturned. What's he going to do? This is a big loss by the Supreme Court, blah 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 blah. It was a 6-3 decision. The 3 justices that believed that Trump had the authority, that I think he did,
Yeah.
were Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Brett Kavanaugh.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, anytime Thomas and Alito are on the same page,
Mhm.
I'm 100% sure that they're right. That's
Okay.
that's the confidence I have in those 2 Supreme Court justices
Just
and their records, and they've been on the court for like 30 years, and they
so
are like,
this is devastating news. Do they not like the billions, possibly trillions of dollars that we're generating?
well, that's an interesting idea, right?
Yeah.
Um, let me
Maybe
show
they're
you
like,
this
doesn't
clip.
impact my paycheck. I don't know. What's the deal?
I want this is I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the lead on the front end. This is another nothing burger.
Okay.
This Supreme Court specializes in technocratic rulings that have almost no real world impact.
Okay.
And that's what has happened in this.
Okay. How does
There
this
was a
have no
narrow
impact?
emergency tariff provision that Trump did use to enact some of his tariffs.
Okay.
They said he couldn't use that, but they went on to say there was other acts that he clearly could use. Now, it was none of it made a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I don't think it makes any difference at all.
Okay.
But first, before we get into that, this is Trump. He went to, I think he was in Detroit, and
Oh.
he visited this is a steel company that he visited, and he's talking with the owner about the impact that tariffs have had on this guy's business.
Yep.
And because we come from Carrie's from Hillsdale, and I might if you were to narrow me down, you would probably say that it wouldn't be a surprise to people if I had gone to Hillsdale. I did not, but a lot of my thinking would be in the Hillsdale mold
Mhm.
for how I grew up and everything else. Conservative, supply side, Reaganomics, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Milton Friedman, right down the line.
Completely.
And in that vein, there's always been this free trader element that is anti-tariffs. It says that tariffs are a tax
Ah.
on Americans. That's what they
Oh.
think.
Okay.
I don't necessarily believe that. Their point is that tariffs only get passed on. Now, that hasn't proven to be true with Trump's tariffs.
Aren't they impacting like price of food and things like that a little bit?
I don't know.
I feel like
I haven't
gas
seen.
has been good, but I think that
Have you noticed food going up
yeah.
post Biden?
Yes.
That's the question. See, it's hard for me to. I don't do all the
Mm,
grocery shopping.
mhm. Food
Beef
food
maybe
prices are
seems
going
like
up,
it has.
especially meat.
Beef is what I've seen go up. To me,
Unreal.
it doesn't seem like the rest. Like eggs came down under
Eggs came
Trump.
down, but that was like, yeah,
Milk
there's
might have
some
come
egg
down a little.
prices. Our milk
Um,
is
I haven't
anyway,
noticed. How much does a gallon of milk cost in Florida?
like $3.50.
Oh, well, we're about the same. We're
Yeah.
$3.50, $4, and we got
Mhm.
like a huge one of the biggest milk producers, like factories right down the road.
I
Like we
know,
got
it's so
dairy
dumb.
farms all
It's
over.
so dumb.
So this guy, I don't remember his name, and I
Okay.
don't remember what company he's at.
Okay.
But this is in Detroit. Trump went and saw him, and he's going to talk about his how tariffs impacted his steel company.
So this gentleman has a now great company. He was in big trouble 2 years ago, and then I put on the tariffs, and now he's going round the clock, making the racks, making the steel, making everything that he makes. And it's just amazing.
Everything he makes.
Making this and that.
That anybody can be complaining about tariffs. He just said, I'd give you a big hug if the press wasn't out here. Because the tariffs have really been a big difference.
It's been a game changer. We were competing with China. They had taken all of it. They were producing racks at $90 a piece. Our cost alone is $150. You've leveled it. The playing field's back.
So when I
Did you get that? So China, they had lost most of their steel production to China.
Yeah.
And China was
insane.
selling these steel racks, whatever they are, for $90 a rack, and this guy's cost to produce these racks was $150.
Yep.
came in and we did what we had to do to save all these businesses. You went through the roof, right?
We did. Our quotes, our orders. We're so busy now, we don't know what to do. My lead time now on an order is 36 weeks. We were at a point in time with our racks division. We were laying off workers. We were working one shift, 3 days a week, begging for work. Now it's the exact opposite.
He's turning
we're turning work down, which is a position that nobody wants to be in, but it's the reality of what your tariffs have done.
Honestly,
All right. How about that? That's a good feel-good story, right?
It is. It is. So it's good to see that. I especially
Now,
like
the
hearing
classical
that
conservatives would look at that and they'd say, so the price of a rack now has gone up from $90 to 170 or 180. I don't know what he's charging. He's saying their cost is
their cost is 150. So it is a hard thing. We're going to have to adjust. We're going to have to recalibrate our expectations with obviously how long it takes to get something and maybe what it costs as well. But I would rather us adjust in that way and not be getting all of our crap cheap from China and having American workers not have jobs and businesses not be able to compete and go under. I think
You're 100% right.
We've
Carrie.
just gotten
People, this is why you listen to this show. Carrie Limbaugh just hit it right out of the park. 100%.
Well, but I'm
go back
guilty.
go back to the 50s and 60s.
I'm guilty of
and
it
think
too,
about
though, Todd.
TVs were expensive. All these things were a lot more expensive. We didn't have cheap TVs. But it's hard to look at life now and say that our quality of life is that. I mean, you could have a single income. You could have a man working, supporting his family at a factory job in Greenville, working for Gibson's, baking refrigerators, and they own a house and they could have a couple cars and they could put their kids through school. You can't do that now.
Right.
They have gutted the manufacturing. And also, if we go to war and we're relying on China for all our steel,
right?
Isn't that a national defense issue? So steel production, especially, so many things. I mean, the reason we won World War II as handily as we did, the reason that England wasn't probably defeated before we ever got into it for 2 years is because of the manufacturing prowess and power that America was able to bring. Our technology, our engineering probably wasn't as good as the Germans in general.
Sure.
That isn't true. But if you looked at their planes to our planes and you kind of take things, they're a little better, but they couldn't come anywhere near the volume that we put out.
Right.
And so, you took these General Motors plants that were making cars and they're making airplanes and they're doing everything else. The point is that once we hollow out the manufacturing core, not only do we not have a middle class anymore,
Yeah.
and everybody's you know what I'm saying? Now everybody's got cheap TVs and they got iPhones and they got whatever.
Right.
We got cheap TVs, cheap pot, and cheap phones.
Yeah.
And so we can just get our unemployment in a haze of weed smoke in Michigan. But I'm not sure that's the best way to live.
No, you're right. And I'm
not that I'm anti-weed. I'm pro-job.
Well, major concern I have is our pharmaceuticals being made in China. There's no justification.
That's another one.
There's no justification for our drugs to be made there. There's no way we should be relying on them. We shouldn't. I won't buy any health product right now made in China.
Okay.
But I was going to say I'm guilty of the same.
I don't know where my prescriptions are coming from. I mean, when I get them from Maher, how do I know where they're getting them?
Well, I would ask. I would look into it.
Oh,
Your
okay.
pharmacist probably knows. Not a tech, but your actual pharmacist probably
I'm
knows.
trying
No
to
offense
ask
to the techs,
as
but
few questions as I can in the line. I'm trying-
right.
I've been in
Can you
line for 6 cars. Like, I'm just ready to go.
and you're like,
I'm
"Can
gonna
you
ask this
please
girl, "Where's my
renew?"
bills coming from?" And she's gonna look at me like, "I just got them off that they're in this little bag."
Yeah. Can you renew my weed card? Actually, you don't even need a card. You
For
don't need
what, weed?
a weed card. It's
No,
Michigan.
recreational in
Sorry.
Michigan, no,
In
yeah.
Florida, you
There was a
need a renewal of your weed card. But
Are there a lot of dispensaries in Florida or not?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there are a lot. So medical marijuana is big.
I can think of like 3 nearby, so yeah.
Okay.
But the guy I
Do you
think
know a lot of people with cards?
yes.
Okay. So it's
You
probably comparable to what Michigan was 5 years ago before we had recreational or whatever.
probably. I mean, I heard that if you just go to your doctor and say, "I can't sleep," or "I'm depressed," or whatever, that they'll get you a weed card.
That's as it should be.
I guess. It's fine. It's whatever. But what was I going to say? Oh, but I'm guilty of it too. It's so nice. We've been conditioned and completely spoiled by Amazon Prime and products from China that they're just storing in warehouses here for super cheap. You get it in 2 days and you get it affordably. Who wants to give that up? Nobody, including me. But I hear that guy describing his business and I think, well, we are going to have to adjust if we
I
want
think so too.
to rebuild manufacturing and I mean
You can't
certain
have everything.
right. And I think there's a
You
time and
can't
place.
have cheap China shit and good jobs in America where they're
Right.
manufacturing and everything else.
You know where it's okay to buy cheap China shit is like party supplies.
Okay.
You want to buy a birthday kit of like Mylar balloons and a big inflatable 21
Those
or
are not a national security
whatever.
risk,
Yeah,
right?
you know what? Just knock yourself out. $24.99 and you can decorate your whole party with a kit. And it was all made in China, and that's fine. But they
Look at
don't
this guy.
buy your clothes or your
This guy's
fish. Don't buy your food or your clothes or your drugs from China. Okay.
Doesn't it look like this guy's got to have something to say?
Yeah. Are his glasses that big or is it the angle? Is it the
He
like,
must be able. He must have like supervision with those glasses.
have you ever seen what is
those X-ray glasses?
what's the funny? Is it Hot Shots? Have you seen the funny?
I don't know.
The Charlie Sheen. It's kind of like a spoof on Top Gun.
I did. It's been so long ago.
One of the
I
guys
don't
has like
remember it.
has like fisheye vision. Like we're looking at the guy. Okay.
This guy is I think was a factory owner in Michigan also.
Okay.
And again, he has something to say, or he's talking about a factory in Michigan, but
Okay.
he's I think he's the owner, and he's talking again about tariffs.
Got to share something really awesome with you guys that I just heard enough from a customer of mine who's also a part-time employee here too. She works for a toy factory, a little toy company in the next couple cities over. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's here in Michigan.
God forbid.
And the toy plant was closing down. And this next month was everybody's last month of work. And I was going to have to give this other girl here some extra hours just to help her get some more money because, they were shutting that plant down.
He's at a
Until
convenience store.
Trump's tariffs forced a Canadian company to buy and build a factory here. So instead, they just bought this one
You
out
got the music.
that was closing down and kept all the employees to avoid paying the tariffs.
Boom.
Thank you,
He's like,
Donald Trump.
Donald
This is what I
J.
voted for.
Trump. Look at that. No, he wasn't the owner, so he's just some guy.
He's some
Some
guy
guy with
working
huge
at a
glasses.
convenience store, but he's got some strong opinions. I feel like he's like our kind of guy. He's a
Nothing's
regular.
getting by those glasses. He's seeing everything.
And he's got the scratch offs behind him. He's like, one of these days, my ticket's gonna come
Good
in.
for him.
I think we need to invite him on the show. I love
He's
that
from
guy.
Michigan, right?
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
love it.
Find out who that guy is.
He didn't want to tell him what city the toy factory was in. Apparently, toy factories in Michigan are heavy terrorist targets.
I
I
know.
don't want to say what town because you'll find the toy factory there.
And there will be
What are we
consequences.
going to do to the toy factory?
I know. What are the consequences if you share the toy factory? Is there toy manufacturing in Michigan?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Who knew?
Who knew? Look at that. They were getting ready to close, and here we are.
Don't you want to go buy some American, Michigan-made toys?
I mean, I guess when I don't have any kids really to buy
Oh,
toys for, but someday when I have like grandkids,
you're gonna have
or
grands
whatever.
someday.
Yeah,
playing with American-made toys. Isn't that beautiful? I like it. Let's keep visualizing this. Let's manifest America's bright future.
So those are a couple positive stories I'd say about tariffs. Okay.
That's cool.
What happened with Trump and the tariffs?
Mhm.
This is Laura Ingraham.
Okay. Yeah, is she going to
her
get into
face
why
that
this
hardly
has no
moves.
Is she a little
If only she could work telepathy.
she a little
Imagine all the
Botox?
Botox you could have.
I have a question, Todd. Is she going to get into, because you said this decision by the Supreme Court is going to have little to no impact.
Yes, Jonathan Turley's on here.
Excellent.
And that he's the law professor that's on Fox a lot.
Mhm.
You know who he is. We
Yep,
played
I
him
like this
before.
guy.
So this is going to be his take to Laura.
Okay.
And her face. Okay, here we go. Sorry.
Don't mock Laura's
guys.
face.
Don't mock Laura's face. She's
kind of
beautiful.
It's kind of like,
I feared this is the way the court was going to go. But first, your take on the court's reasoning, and then we'll get to the refusal of the court to settle the issue of returning collected tariff monies. But first, your take on the case.
Her forehead couldn't move if it had to.
Well, Laura, as you and I previously discussed, the odds were against the president in this appeal. Some of these conservative justices historically take a more textual approach to statutes. They did not see the clear authority under IEPA, and there were good faith arguments on both sides. I actually thought the Solicitor General of the United States did an extraordinary job in oral argument. I thought that he was marvelous. And it ultimately didn't carry the day, but that's what most of us thought would be the outcome. I expect the administration is well prepared for this. It's not a welcomed result, but it's not an unanticipated result. The key is that this doesn't mean the check's in the mail, as you noted, for refunds. It also does not mean that these tariffs are going to fall away. The president has used tariffs as part of his foreign policy, but he's also used it to secure a series of favorable trade deals, including one just in the last 24 hours with Indonesia. And I don't think that is going to change either. And so there are aspects of the result here that the president can take some solace in. You know, the court did recognize, and the majority of the court clearly recognizes, he has tariff authority under other laws. What he does not have is the easier route of IEPA, but that's not, I think, going to materially change his policies.
So that's the important thing. We're not going to be materially changing tariff policies.
so does it mean that the existing, the steps he's already taken will not be undone by this decision? Most likely.
Some of them will, but I will tell you this, that they have immediately effect. I'm looking for my clips on Trump here.
Mhm.
Trump responded, of course. You couldn't expect Trump not to respond,
Of course.
right?
Right.
And so let's listen to a couple of things Trump had to say. I want to get this in the right in the right order. Okay, let's go to this one first, just to make sure that I'm on the right. Okay. This is Scott Bessent. You know what? You want to hear Scott Bessent first, and then we'll go to
Sure.
Trump?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure this is Scott Bessent talking about. Nope, never mind. I don't want that one. We're going to go to Trump. Let's go to Trump,
Okay.
the Trumpster,
No, what is this? Okay.
the greatest president in all of world history, I think.
He's king-like, don't you think?
He's fabulous. Okay, let's hear what Donald Trump has
Wait,
to say.
we weren't going to listen to Scott Bessent?
We'll go back to Scott Bessent.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't about the tariffs like I thought it was.
Oh, okay,
Or at
sorry.
least that clip that was right in front of me wasn't. I feel like there is a Bessent clip I have about tariffs, but that one wasn't it. That was about him being gay, which you don't hear much of. But he just makes the point that like Trump is completely merit-based. So it is an
Gotcha.
interesting clip, but it's not about
Oh,
tariffs.
that's cool. Yeah, I would like
But I
to.
am allowed to cut off any and all trade
or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to.
Well, this is what was crazy about this is that they said, well, the president can enact embargoes. He can cut off all trade from companies, but he can't charge them a fee. It's the craziest thing.
Oh,
The
okay.
tortured logic it took for the court to come to this decision that was utterly meaningless in the great scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads.
It was a horrible decision. He's
I
right.
can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that.
I can't do that.
It's incorrect. Their decision's incorrect. But it doesn't matter because we have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision.
That was the thing, is that it was the stupid thing about this decision is that they say you can't do this with this existing thing, but go ahead and use all the, like, it's just, our judicial system is, it's in a sad place, quite honestly. So
right, and what it is it's
and are fully allowed.
Sorry,
it's
it's
okay. It's just decades and decades of laws piling on top of laws. You know what I mean? And so it just gets to a point where it's ridiculous.
Why in the hell does the Supreme Court think they're the final arbiter of all things? Won't we have 3 co-equal branches of government?
Well, I mean, they're one of the 3 legs. I mean, I get that part.
They're the one leg that doesn't have any ability to enforce any of their decisions. Congress has the power of the purse. The president has the power of the military and of all kinds of things in the executive branch. In the Supreme Court, all they can do is sit there in their black robes and say, this is our opinion on some things, which is why Andrew Jackson, why FDR, why Abraham Lincoln told him to go pound sand so many times. Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like we need them. We need that balance. However, who then enforces it? If they say he can't do it and he does it, what happens? Then
Nothing.
Does just Congress get...
What happens is the trail of tears, like what happened with Andrew Jackson.
Oh my gosh. But
he says,
that
was Andrew Jackson's exact thing. He said, John Marshall's made his decision. Now he can enforce it. And then he did exactly what he wanted.
Okay, fair enough. But that he wasn't dealing with the media and the vitriol.
Oh, you'd be surprised
against this. Not at this level.
There's thought that Andrew Jackson's wife died of the sickness that she did because of the incessant media bad press that she got.
Wow.
His wife, not just even him, but his wife.
Wow, what was she doing?
Well, she was younger than him. There's all kinds of rumors and conspiracy theories about Jackson. The elites hated Jackson.
Okay.
They thought there was all these political cartoons of him as the king, and he wielded the veto like no one ever had, and executive orders. And we just hadn't seen a president. Abraham Lincoln did it after Andrew Jackson, and then Teddy Roosevelt did it, and you could argue FDR did it, and then a lot of our presidents have.
Wow.
So there's this struggle. The whole point of this 3 co-equal branches of government was that there was a constant tension between all of them.
Yes.
Now, what's happened is that
Congress that helped to balance the powers.
Yeah, but the legislative branch has largely abdicated their roles to either the executive or the judicial branch.
They've made themselves
that's
ineffectual.
A big part of the problem.
Yeah.
So things go back and forth. Trump will issue executive orders. The next president will come in and overturn issue new executive orders because these things don't have the force of legislative law. You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to overturn a law. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's harder. It's also a hell of a lot harder to make a law.
Yes.
And to get a law passed.
And if the legislative branch was doing their job, it wouldn't be quite so hard.
So if you were President Donald J. Trump and you wanted to tell the Supreme Court to go pound sand, perhaps this is what it might sound like.
which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore,
he's talking about some additional tariff power that he has in statutes that have already been decided that he has this power, and here's what he's going to do with that power.
or effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs. They're existing, they're there. Remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies.
So just in case you thought Trump was going to roll over, just in case those other countries out there started thinking, hey, this is a win for us, maybe we'll get back our tariff money, maybe we won't have to have this, Trump just stuck another 10%.
I was going to say, he just said, I'll see you and raise, is what he just did. Good for him.
How great is that?
That's great.
That, I think, is that in the end, this is Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas, talking about this is his dissent, because he dissented in the case. So I'll put this up quick so people can read it.
Okay.
But it says, Justice Thomas cooks the majority with his dissent in today's tariff decision. Congress authorized the president to regulate importation. Throughout American history, the authority to regulate importation has been understood to include the authority to impose duties on imports. The meaning of that phrase was beyond doubt by the time that Congress enacted this statute. President Nixon's highly publicized duties on imports were upheld based on identical language. Congress may delegate the exercise of many powers to the president. Congress has done so repeatedly since the founding with this court's blessing. So that was why that was what Clarence Thomas had to say about the
So I'm
about the
curious,
tariffs.
what was the basis of those who voted to overturn Trump's
Well, that's what I'm telling
authority
you,
to do that? It's like, I'd like to hear, what is their justification for it?
what John Roberts has gotten fabulous at is they create these decisions that become that they're so heavy in their technocratic language that they sound like they're okay, we're going to overturn, we're going to do this and this, and they apply to like almost nothing, and the things they do apply to can easily be covered by other things, other laws, and so it's meaningless. But see, that further degrades the justice system.
It does.
When you have lawless, meaningless decisions that are technocratic in nature, that are just fooling around with the minutia and the language, rather than not legislating, but judiciously officiating the people's business.
Yeah, it's like research teams spending millions of dollars to find out if snakes respond differently to rock music versus whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, they take it so seriously, and it's like, who cares? Like, who cares about, and it's
Well,
all
it's the
this money
reptilian
and
people that we're
time.
worried about. We're wondering if the reptilian people masquerading as humans among us, we play certain music if like their eye slits will show or what, you know what I mean? We're
Right.
trying to see if we can do it a fair amount.
Gotcha. Thank you for shedding light on why they
One more
waste
thing
this
on the
money.
tariffs. This is J.D. Vance. He said, today the Supreme Court decided that Congress, despite giving the president the ability to regulate imports, didn't actually mean it. This is lawlessness from the court, plain and simple, and its only effect will be to make it harder for the president to protect American industries and supply chain resiliency. President Trump has a wide range of other tariff powers, and he will use them to defend the American workers and advance this administration's trade priorities. So, in the end, this was a bunch of press that was Trump lost this, that, and the other, but I don't think in the end it makes. Not only do I think it's going to make any difference at all in what the actual tariffs are, or what Trump's economic policy is, I don't think this is going to have any impact on the midterms at all. I don't think anybody cares.
Okay,
And
so
if they care, I don't think they're going to care for more than a week or two.
so Todd, actually, this is kind of cool. I want to flip this perspective and see what you think about this.
Okay.
What if this is the Supreme Court's way of giving the Trump's opposition the feeling of a win, take some
Without,
heat off themselves without actually damaging his ability, like without inhibiting his ability to do what he needs to do.
I just don't know to what end that would be.
I don't
What
know,
are they
just
accomplishing?
because they're getting like so much heat. I mean
Yeah.
and I mean they get heat on a bunch of levels with with regard to how many of them are considered conservatives, stacking the
Yeah.
Supreme Court and all that stuff. So I wonder if this is just an opportunity. I mean, I don't know that they operate that way. I'm just trying to look at it from another point of view.
Well, clearly some of the justices operate that way. I mean, clearly Amy Coney Barrett has been somewhat cowed by the left and their attacks on her
Hmm.
for Roe and
Right.
attorney Roe and everything else. Which, by the way, more
But
kids I think are being
also,
aborted now
oh,
than were before.
did I glitch or did you? I lost you. I lost you, Todd.
Up.
I'm still here.
On 1 second here.
Wait, I lost
Here.
you for a long time. Are you there?
I know I'm back.
Okay, cool.
We'll fix it.
Okay.
Technical problems on
I was
my
going to say
end.
mine was smooth that whole time. So I was like, oh my
Yours was
gosh.
perfect. Mine glitched up on me. So
That wasn't a criticism. But okay, the last thing I heard you say was Amy has cowed to the left, clearly.
well, yeah, I think that she's been. I mean, it's had an impact on her. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just has. I don't. The attacks and everything else on and people. She's got a younger family. These people, they're not. We like to think that they're with lifetime terms and things that they're above the fray, but they're not above the fray. They're reading the press. They're doing everything else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just don't.
But you know what I mean? Oh, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you not see me? Yeah.
Yep.
No, we're good.
It's just on delay a little bit. It'll catch up. So I'm talking, but I look and then it looks like I'm starting to talk before you're finished. Sorry.
You're like, wait a tick.
So what I was going to say is I think the advantage might be that, just the left in Washington is just constantly, relentlessly against Trump, trying to take him down in every way possible and stand in his way in every way possible. And maybe this is giving them the impression that, okay, you won this one. Maybe they'll just like chill out a little bit. And the good news, am I being naive? I'm just thinking,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I feel like it's
don't.
the upside to this pointless decision.
I hope you're right. I don't know the answer,
Me neither.
but I hope that you're right.
I don't know anything.
I mean, I just think that the Supreme Court is kind of squishes, and not all of them. Thomas isn't, Alito isn't,
Mhm.
Kavanaugh, even Gorsuch most of the time. Gorsuch is a little Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts would be your three that are technically conservative, but they kind of waffle around a little. Gorsuch not so much.
Right.
Gorsuch is usually pretty reliable,
Hmm.
but he's not always 100%
Yeah.
reliable, but he's usually pretty good. Amy Coney bounces around. So does John Roberts. John Roberts seemed to worry more about what he cares about is the institution of the Supreme Court more than anything else.
Which in his position, he's, what is he called? Chief Justice?
Yeah. So
I think in his position, he probably feels a different weight on his shoulders for that, to kind of protect the appearance of, is how I'm going to say, because I think he's going back on his principles. But so he's trying to maintain the appearance of the integrity of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's all he
judgmental.
cares about.
I don't know anything. All I know really for sure, Todd, is that
I think John Roberts
surely our
surely
government would not lie to us.
No, they'd never lied to us. Why does he care more about the institution of the Supreme Court than the American people is what I would like to know. I would like
That-
all of them to be caring about America and the American people and their
Yep.
best interest. And I don't think many of them are. I believe Trump is. I don't think many. I don't know how many of the others are.
You know, can I go off topic here for a second? I'm reading a
Nope.
reading a book
Yeah,
right now.
just kidding.
Reading a book right now. It's an epistolary novel, so it's all like letter writing and note writing and email writing. It's all
Okay, that's interesting.
everyone. It's all the communications with the main character. It's
You
really
like it?
yes, I love it. It's called The
Okay.
Correspondent by Virginia
The
Evans.
Correspondent.
But I just want to say that it is inspiring me now. I've only been reading it for a few days, but it's inspiring me to write letters to people. And right now,
Really?
I'm like, I would like to write to the Supreme Court and say, hey guys, like, how do you balance? You know, I'd love to say, how come it appears that you don't care as much about the American people as the institution of the Supreme Court? But instead, maybe say, how do you balance that? I know you're trying to protect this, but how do you also remember, to care about the American people and who you're making these decisions for? It
You
makes
should
me
write
want to
Amy
write a
Coney
letter.
Barrett a letter.
I think I will. I'll let you know how
You
it
know,
goes.
I think she lives in. Well, I'm sure she lives in D.C. a lot of the time now, but I think originally she was in South Bend, Indiana.
Oh,
Just
gotcha.
a couple hours from here, down by Notre Dame.
Oh, wow. Was Brett Kavanaugh from like Ohio? Kentucky?
I know he lived in Washington. I don't remember where he was from originally,
Okay.
honestly.
Anyway.
I really don't. Gorsuch, I know, is Colorado.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't. Or at least that's where he was a judge or whatever. So this
anyway.
is Dan Bongino.
Oh, how's Dan doing?
He's okay. He's got John Solomon on. And that's what's interesting in this particular clip is isn't Dan as much as it is John Solomon.
Okay.
And he's got a prediction on what he thinks Trump is going to do that I think you'll be interested to hear. And it's about election integrity.
Oh my gosh, please be good.
So I think that you'll find this to be.
Now we have a bunch of lazy senators who want to threaten the filibuster.
What the? Sorry, guys.
Not get up and speak and talk and really represent the people and stand for what.
So we're talking about the SAVE Act, right? The SAVE Act is the Election Integrity Act that has been passed by the House, I believe, and it's sitting in the Senate, and that would require photo IDs. Illegal aliens can't vote. I think that's already law, but it may have some checks and balances.
But it might be enforced with like IDs. Okay.
They might acknowledge it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
that's fair.
But in the Senate currently, it's tied up in the Senate. The pressure is on John Thune, who is the Senate Majority Leader, Republican out of, I can't remember, South Dakota or something. And he is what they want him to do is right now in the Senate, you've got this 60 vote threshold, which means everything's held up by filibuster without 60 votes to end the filibuster. So just a majority doesn't really do much in the Senate. It doesn't pass anything.
Okay.
Now that's because the Senate and the leaders of the Senate have allowed this idea. It used to be, if you remember back in the day, when the Senate had a filibuster, they'd have to stand up there and they'd have to talk and talk and talk. And you'd have guys who would talk. Yeah, like there'd be guys who would talk for like 6 hours straight or whatever, or successively. You'd have.
Did it have to be one person or could it?
I think it depended, but I think you could go back and forth. But they had to stand up there and keep talking. They had to stay in session and just keep talking for days at a time. This obviously was difficult for people. Some people have to go to the bathroom. Some people have to eat. Some people have medical. So
I know. It's kind of comical, but it's an interesting concept.
Albeit being worth $70 million, they aren't very healthy. Well, speaking of, maybe I should let John. But what's happened now, and I don't know. I think this clip was prior to this little development.
Okay.
The pressure has been on John Thune to enforce a standing filibuster, make them actually stand up there and talk it through and go at it for 16 hours.
Okay.
And the last time this happened was the Democrats filibustering the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Oh.
In case everybody thinks that the Democrats have always loved the black people and the brown people, that isn't exactly true to history. It was the Republicans' majority who passed the Civil Rights Act.
They were opposed to the Civil Rights Act?
Yes.
So can you quickly explain what they were opposing in the Civil Rights Act?
The Democrats were, if you think about it, back in the day, they called them kind of the Dixiecrats. The Democrat Party, one of its biggest bases was in the South. They were the Ku Klux Klan, all of that. They were all Democrats.
Oh my
That's what people don't
gosh.
realize. The
Hold on.
Democrats hated, they did not like black people, minorities, any of it. It was the Democrats by and large that were more racist than Republicans. And Lyndon Johnson, this was after the death of Kennedy.
Yes.
Lyndon Baines, I think it was Johnson, LBJ.
LBJ, yes.
He worked with a Republican, with a big Republican majority, or the majority of the Republicans, to pass his Civil Rights Act because the Democrats would not pass it. And that was the last time a standing filibuster was enforced in the Senate. And they lost. The Democrats were up there. They were saying, hey, we can't give these people equal rights. They don't, or maybe they said they don't need it. Maybe they didn't think that the Civil Rights Act was necessary. I don't know what all their arguments were at the time.
It looks like they were really opposed to, the Southern ones were really opposed to desegregation.
Oh, wildly. Yeah, they didn't want it.
That is crazy. Okay.
So this is John Solomon, but that's the landscape right now.
Okay.
And in the midst of this pressure to enforce the standing filibuster, because by and large MAGA and the Republicans believe that the Democrats would eventually fail after a number of hours and that this bill would pass.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I don't think John Solomon, I think this development has only been in the last 24 hours. I think this clip predated that. But what has happened now is that the turtle, Cocaine Mitch McConnell, wheeled in where he's barely responsive,
right,
has put a hold on it and will not allow the act to come to the floor of the Senate. In case you wondered how much Cocaine Mitch the turtle cares about election integrity.
So
he's almost dead.
Right.
Well, he might be dead.
He's
for all we know. Just like Biden.
He's supposedly a Republican.
Supposedly a living, breathing Republican.
Wait. He is, okay.
Who has hated Trump from the beginning and done everything he could to undermine Trump almost the entire time Trump's been on the national scene.
Okay. Well, it kind of tells you what kind of person he is to be.
Or what kind of person he was.
Do you think that when you make the cocaine joke, is that because you think that that's what's keeping him going, or does he have a history?
They used to call him, Rush always used to call him, there was this nickname that ran around, I think it was on like tech blogs or whatever, they called him Cocaine Mitch. And I can't remember what the turtle was one and Cocaine Mitch was the other, and I can't remember what
that's awful.
The etymology of that word is. Nobody knows what that means.
So I wonder.
Gary does, though.
Is
the highbrow show, people.
I want to know if
she went to Hillsdale.
I want to know if Jill Biden is his doctor,
She's keeping him alive.
Wow.
So here's John Solomon talking about this whole kerfuffle, although like I said, I think the Mitch McConnell thing is a newer wrinkle that he probably won't address, but still I think what he's talking about will eventually address it.
Okay.
Now we have a bunch of lazy senators who want to threaten the filibuster and not get off their feet and talk and really represent the people and stand for what they believe in. And all the American people are asking John Thune to do is to restore the Senate to the way it used to work before Mitch McConnell's lazy filibuster ideas kind of came into play. And I think that the American people are going to be there. Here's what I think is going to happen, Dan. And I think you probably know some of this because you had a foresight into some of the things that the Bureau now knows that was kept from the American public. I think Donald Trump is going to change the narrative in America. I think he's going to change some senators' minds, and he's going to do it by revealing some of the things that Chris Wray and that Chris Krebs and other major officials who were in charge of the integrity of our elections and who told us it was a perfect election in 2020.
Perfect.
He's going to start revealing some of the intelligence that was kept from the American people. And we're going to see that our foreign adversaries have monkeyed with our system more than we knew, more than those driver's licenses coming into Chicago that you helped get all of us to understand about a few months ago, about China sending fake driver's licenses to help Joe Biden in. There are going to be significant efforts by foreign powers, some friends, some enemies, that were trying to meddle in the system, and they got pretty far down that path. And I think when senators realized their state could have been targeted, when senators realized that the intention of the identities of some of their voters might have been assumed, I think there's going to be a different debate in America. And I think if the president takes the time to educate people and show him that maybe the stories we got from the last leadership weren't true, I think he's going to pick off the votes. And then the American people are going to put some pressure on John Thune, and they're going to surgically implant a stiff back, and he's going to change that filibuster for this particular thing, make it a standing filibuster, make the Democrats talk till they drop, and then we'll get a vote in the summer. But I think there's some big, significant, and very troubling revelations about the vulnerabilities of our elections that the president is about to unveil on the American public.
What do you think?
Well, I love that, but I don't think that anyone's going to believe it.
From his lips to God's ears is what I say.
I mean, I need to believe that the people are going to listen to it and be shocked. And if they're not shocked by, the elites eating kids, I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think.
Where do I go to find kids on the menu?
I don't think they're going to be shocked by.
I've been wanting to try kids for a while.
There were. They're not going to be shocked by China's driver's license, export business.
Well, I think what you're going to see is that the Epstein files have, to some extent, shocked America to. I mean, I don't think not everybody's paying attention.
Not everyone's paying attention, but not everyone's open to that.
True.
Do you think it's changed anyone's mind?
It's starting to shake some foundations out there.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. The problem is that because of the way that the Trump administration has handled it, which I don't think has been particular. I mean, you had Pam Bondi with that stupid binders thing almost a year ago, remember? Well, I got the binders right on my desk, right over there. And then nothing happened. Just absolute asinine Pam Bondi.
I have a feeling her hands are tied by other people.
It may be.
And she looks kind of like she's floundering. I think it's because she has like a internal gag order,
So I think the problem right now with the Epstein files is that it was mishandled in how it was rolled out, and the messaging on it from the Trump White House, it's just been muddled, to say, like, that's a kind way to say it.
Right. But they're not that
a complete and utter clown show is another way to say it.
I'm just trying to figure out why that is. Okay, go ahead.
But what I think you're going to see now is I think that there are some big things out there. There's some evidence that's been withheld that the American people haven't seen. You're going to see this arrest of Maduro, this pulling him out of Venezuela in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
In his pajamas and his earmuffs in the helicopter.
How dare we? Yeah.
I think you're going to find out a lot of that ran through Venezuela. We're going to have a lot of proof, and I think some things are going to come out that can shake up the conversation some.
Okay.
Enough, hopefully. Now, see that the question is, what does a dead senator like Mitch McConnell care about public opinion? It's questionable how much he knows about it anyway.
I was going to say, I don't even know that he knows what's going on. If he does know what's going on, he's only trying to protect himself and his whatever Democrat people who are holding his next injection to see one more sunrise,
Trump has said that the SAVE Act is going to happen regardless. That means he'll institute it via executive order if he has to. Now, the problem with that is it's going to be tied up in courts, and it's going to be a bit of a, you know what I mean? I don't know if it'll work its way out in time for way more than Congress just doing what they should do.
Right.
I mean, shouldn't we have secure elections?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were saying last week, guys, everyone, please ask if you are in face to face with someone who thinks that this is a bad idea to require ID to vote. Just ask them, name one country in the world where you can just stroll across the border, plant yourself for any period of time, and then say, hey, I'd like to vote in their next election. Just ask if there's any country that lets you do that.
Well, how about the Democratic National Convention?
Okay.
Can you just stroll in there and vote without an ID?
Nope.
They just letting anybody in? I don't think so.
Nope.
There's a little bit of security to get in there.
And I think you need an ID to get a voter registration card.
Yeah. So it's not. You know what?
Yeah.
You don't have to convince the American people on this.
I know.
This is like a 70-75%
I know.
issue, even with Democrats. This is a no-brainer with American citizens.
Right.
But our Congress doesn't represent American interests all that much anymore.
Right.
And mostly dead Mitch McConnell, I guarantee you, I don't think he represents him at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right.
I think it's a good play for Trump either way. This he's gonna. I mean, if he's gonna do it either way, and you're gonna get the executive orders, he needs to put this stuff out there, and he needs to build the case to the American people. They need to do 1,000 times better job with this disclosure, and maybe with potential alien disclosure later on this year that I think might be coming out. UAPs, extraterrestrials, whatever we want to call them. I think we're going to see something on that. I think Obama slipped up a little bit. That happened this week too, where he talked about aliens. But anyway, I think that they need to
Referred to
roll
his
this
wife
out
as Mike by accident again. Sorry. I'm so
what is
sorry.
it? Why's it got 3 legs? That's not a leg.
Oh,
Then you got
boy. Don't you wish
Michael.
Don't you wish the I can't wait to hear about the alien thing, but don't you wish the general American population was as curious about news and truth about our elections as they are about aliens?
Yes. But I think all of that may come together. You know what I mean? Like, but the important point is that the Trump administration has to significantly up their game when it comes to how they roll out this information and how they message it.
And I don't think Trump's the one to do it.
The Epstein files have not been a good I think Trump's fine to do it.
No.
But it needs to be consistent and coherent throughout the administration. He can be the point guy. He's great at that. But he can't be being undermined by his own administration at every other turn.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
We like Trump and we laugh when he's up there, and if he's out there trying to educate the American people about what happened in this election, he's going to go out there and say, they were doing all sorts of things, and like that's how he talks, and we think that's funny and we get it, but everyone else is going to be like,
well, the way it should happen, if it's like what I anticipate, if it's as bad and as corrupt as I anticipate, and if they have the goods that I anticipate, especially now with Maduro that they have, then the way to do this is through arrest and indictments, and then start rolling out the reasons that these people, while they scream, "What do you mean?
Okay,
it was just a pipe burst."
Gotcha.
But it needs to be precipitated there.
Okay.
Because that's part of the problem that people are having with the Epstein stuff. And I've got even some more Epstein stuff. This Epstein thing, it's not going away. Turns out, if Americans start to get a whiff that their kids might be being eaten, in addition to being abused, that they start to get a little perturbed.
That crosses the line.
But
it's the blood consumption that is the problem.
They don't.
It's a bridge.
But there's this,
bridge too far.
The problem with the Epstein stuff is that all of this stuff's they're seeing these emails. Now listen, I've said it's hard to separate fact from fiction. I can tell you this: my wife Nikki dug into it some this week, not for very long. I don't think but there was a day where she spent part of it reading through, because all these Epstein, what they call, there's millions of these files,
right?
And there's
how'd she find
all this crap? It's on this DOJ website. It's a publicly. It's pretty easy to find. Okay. I haven't particularly gone and looked.
How'd she find the stuff that was?
She just started digging
relevant.
into it.
Okay.
And I don't know, because I wasn't here. She told me this. Maybe it didn't even happen. No, I'm just kidding.
Nikki made it all up. Nikki's all about the propaganda. No, we're
like, how can I get the laundry done? I was reading the Epstein file. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's fabulous.
Think of the children.
She's 1,000 times better than I would. But she dug in it, and she told me that her point in telling me this was that after an hour or two, she felt like just mired in darkness.
Yeah.
She almost felt like a spiritual oppression on her spirit a little bit.
I can totally imagine that. Haven't even
and so
gone
she quit
there.
it. She just she didn't want to deal with it anymore after and she had She told me she had horrible dreams like that next night or
Oh,
whatever it
no.
was, like,
Damn it.
and she just putting everything together felt like there was a lot of evil there. Well, I think that anybody who looks into this at all feels that way.
Right.
But the problem with the way it's been rolled out is that we didn't start with arrest.
It didn't start with
It
any
didn't it
consequences.
didn't start with indictments. Everybody feels like
Yeah.
we're finding all this out and nobody's being held accountable.
Right. So if the authorities don't care enough to take people out for this, you know what I mean? If they're
Yes,
not willing to
100%.
enforce hold anyone accountable for it. Ugh. Yuck.
But see, that's with I think they need to learn from this
Mhm.
with the election integrity stuff and the laws that were broken and the millions of ballots, all the fake ballots, all the fake counting, everything,
Mhm.
the election machine rigging, all of it.
Yeah. The plumbing.
They need to have the arrest and the warrants and the indictments rolling out on the front end of this.
That's a great
So that
Yeah.
what starts perking people up is, oh my God, they arrested. I don't think they're probably going to arrest Obama, but maybe they arrest John Brennan. Maybe they arrest Susan Rice. Some people that were real high up in the administration.
Okay.
And listen, I'm throwing those names out there.
Sure.
Brennan, I'm quite certain.
Yeah, whoever would
Susan
appropriately.
Rice, any of them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're all reptilians.
Oh my
But
gosh.
point of it.
This is
point
the
is-
sign for
You start with that, and then you backfill behind it with all this evidence. That, to me, that gets because the media is going to squeal like stuck pigs about these arrests. And these people are going to be arrested in the rain. They aren't going to. They might sit in jail for 6 hours. They might turn themselves in, and it's going to be a long process. But see, that's the point. The point is, you get the arrest on the front end, you get the mugshot like they got for Trump. Now, Trump turned that into a bonus. He turned that into a plus. But most people aren't Trump. Most
Right.
people can't turn a
yeah.
mugshot into a plus.
Right.
So,
And if Len, here's the thing too. Let's say Jane Doe in Washington, whoever it is. I don't know. What was Susan Rice's title? I don't even know.
she was national security advisor
Okay.
under Obama. She was something
So-
under Biden.
Whoever it is. Jane DC. Let's say Jane DC gets arrested.
Yep.
Her mugshot's out there. Evidence starts coming out. The people who were around her, if they know what was going on, they're not gonna come to her defense.
No.
They're gonna let whoever gets caught.
And
take.
if they were smart,
Yeah. Mhm.
they've already got this in Maduro, but they start getting people that were just a rung or two lower.
Mm-hmm.
They start getting them to sing first.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that's the way to do it.
I think
Trump.
they would
Whoever
feel.
is in your circle doesn't know a damn thing about how to message these things and roll them out. And Trump's instincts are perfect on so many things. You got to somehow.
He'd be in danger.
Nobody
though.
in the DOJ wants to arrest people. That's where you got to start. If you'd have started there with Epstein, and maybe there's nobody to arrest for Epstein. Epstein may just be such a cluster that there was no good way. And I will give Trump the benefit of the doubt on that and say there may not have been a good way to handle it. I don't know, because this has been going on for years. I mean, he died under Trump's first term. He was imprisoned in Florida under either Bush or Obama. You know what I mean? I just so.
Yeah. Do you
the Epstein
think
thing had been such a long rollout, and you know what I mean? I suspect that all the files were probably nabbed by the intelligence agencies anyway, because they want the blackmail is the whole point. But did you see that Prince Andrew was arrested this last week?
So no, I heard something about Prince Andrew, and I haven't been able to get a real story on it. What's he
was
arrested for?
Well, it would be in connection with all this Epstein stuff, but it wasn't for trafficking kids per se.
Okay.
It had to do with conduct. It was either like, I want to say conduct unbecoming to like a royal official, something like that.
Who arrested him?
Along with something about classified information.
It's like British authorities.
Yeah, it was in
him?
the UK. Now he was arrested again, arraigned, and let go. You know what I mean? I mean, he didn't go through trial. He's not in prison, any of that.
Okay.
So, But
how long do you think he'll hang in
Prince Charles decided to arrest his brother for the sake of public opinion, is what it looked like.
there? Wow.
And charge him with something that I don't know if it's the end of the world or whether it'll be proved or whether it won't be proved. I don't know enough about the UK judicial system and everything
But I mean,
over
it's
there.
got to be just the ultimate disgrace.
Oh, clearly that, yes.
So I wonder how long he'll.
It has been a long fall from grace for Prince Andrew.
I wonder how long he'll stay alive.
I don't know. He's a king's brother, but that doesn't. You look through history, that doesn't always matter. That might be less safe than others.
Right. I exactly.
Speaking of Susan Rice, listen to this. This is Susan Rice.
Okay.
She is. Let's find her here. She's promising that when the Democrats get back in power, you watch out.
But when it comes to the elites, the corporate interests.
I like how they try to redefine the elite.
It is not. It's not going to end well for them. For those that decided that it was, that they would act in their perceived very narrow self-interest, which I would underscore is very short-term self-interest, and take a knee to Trump. I think they're now starting to realize, wait a minute, this is not popular. Trump is not popular. What he is doing, whether on the economy and affordability or on immigration now, is not popular.
Stupid reptilian.
And that there is likely to be a swing in the other direction. And they are going to be caught with more than their pants down.
Whoa.
They're going to be held accountable.
This is a family show, Susan.
Those who come.
This is the deep state. They're not veiling anything. They're telling all of the business interests, all the corporate interests out there, when we get back in power, this is blood sport. We're coming after all of you who bent the knee to Trump. How do you like that? That's what politics has become in America.
I know.
It's a blood sport.
It's like gaslighting and threatening. It's wild.
In opposition to Trump, and win at the ballot box. And I can tell you, Preet, as I talk to leaders in Washington, leaders in our party, leaders in the states, if these corporations think that the Democrats, when they come back in power, are going to, play by the old rules, and
wait a sec, are the old rules like the Constitution? Would that be an old one?
I'm okay with that. How about you?
And say, oh, never mind, we'll forgive you for all the people you fired, all the policies and principles you've violated, all, the laws you've skirted. I think they've got another thing coming because, just like when Trump thought, okay, I'll redistrict and the Democrats won't have the guts to play hardball. They're going to be surprised. Democrats have had a belly full. And we're not going to play by, the old set of rules when these guys are playing by a very different set of rules. We're going to play by the law. We're not going to violate the law the way they do.
I'd like
but we're not going to be suckers.
But...
And so I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental.
Wow.
There will be an accountability agenda. Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas. If they've done something wrong, they'll be held accountable. And if they haven't broken the law, good for them. If they've done the right things, good for them. That also will be noted and remembered. But
by the Ministry of
this
Truth.
Is not going to be an instance of forgive and forget.
Right.
The damage that these people are doing is too severe to the American people and to our national interest. But
seems to me she might be a little threatened by the Trumpster.
Who?
Susan Soprano came out and said, "You can do it. I just want you to remember when we're back in power, homie."
I'm trying to figure out what is her. She's a diplomat. She's a public official.
Well, she was a national security advisor under Obama, and she was something. She ran some of the staff or something under Biden. I can't remember what. She was one of the. She was one of the presidents under Biden. She was one who was pulling some of the strings.
Gotcha.
Of the corpse.
So this is of Biden. Got it. So this is interesting. She's sometimes called Mahonia Susan Rice, but that's not her.
Mahonia.
That's not her name. Her name
What's
is actually
Mahoney?
Susan Elizabeth.
Oh.
I'm not going to go down that path, but
I don't know where she was going, guys.
I'm not,
You'll have to ask her.
I'm just okay, but
I know Todd's world, not Carrie's world.
but she's like policy advisor. I know. So she's just going rogue right now online, posting to corporate America.
You mean by going rogue? Do you mean was she not speaking for Obama? Because I think she's speaking for Obama in the deep state. Is what I think.
I'd like to know, but she has no official capacity right now.
No,
so I'm
well,
just
none
like
of them
she's
do.
just sitting there in her little office with all of her personal effects around her.
Well, she fully intends to have some official capacity once they get back into power.
Okay.
And you can bet your ass that whatever that official capacity is, it will involve persecuting conservatives.
Yeah,
and
it
they
sounds like
claim
it.
they didn't do it under Biden.
Yeah.
So if they're claiming they're going to start now,
Ooh,
what's that going to look like?
I don't know. We all better look out.
Get your guns. Jackbooted government thugs are going to break through your door. Shoot for the head because they usually have body armor on.
We need a representative like Kyle out there saying, "Come on, conservatives, get ready."
That was G. Gordon Liddy.
Here comes Susan Rice.
G. Gordon Liddy had a talk show back in the day, early days with Rush.
I remember him.
He was one of the main burglar, the guys who orchestrated the burglary of Watergate. In fact, he spent time in prison.
Okay, that's right.
For it. And
I forgot that was his background.
John Dean, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was G. Gordon Liddy, but he used to say, when the government thugs come through your door, shoot for the head because they're wearing body armor.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
that was his classic thing. It was kind of funny.
That's a little crazy.
How about a little levity in the middle? Listen, guys, I want to remind everybody that we've got beers tomorrow. Beers with Jesus. We do 2 podcasts. One is the Wildly Opinionated News Hour, which you're currently enjoying. One is Beers with Jesus.
The people are so lucky that we do
they
too.
They are. So we drop Beers with Jesus on Wednesdays. We drop the Wildly Opinionated News Hour on Tuesdays. And so join us tomorrow. ToddsWorld.net's where you find the merch, books, audiobooks, all that stuff. It's about to become a hub for everything Todd's World. You're going to be able to buy it all there. It's not quite ready yet. Within a week or two, I'm hoping that we're good to go. So subscribe to this if you haven't subscribed. Like it.
Give us lots of stars.
Yeah, give us like 7 or 8 stars.
Share with some friends, please.
Share clips and check out clips. We're on the social media. I'm not on Facebook yet because I'm still hacked. Apparently, people are selling things under my account.
Oh, they really are. I had a friend say, "Is this
Carrie
account?"
texts me. She's like, "Can you do something?" I'm like, "I can't even get into my own account.
I can't even find him anymore unless he's a guy with like a gate, one of those gator things, this like bundled up, can't see his face, like an Antifa has like hijacked.
It's been 3 weeks since my Facebook account was hacked.
Okay.
So I asked Grok, my new AI lover.
Yeah. You guys are tight.
I use Grok instead of Google most of the time anymore. But anyway, I asked Grok. I said my Facebook my Facebook account got hacked 3 weeks ago. I submitted it to Facebook. It's been 3 weeks. I haven't heard anything. Is this typical? And they were like, yes. Give it at least 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh. And one of my friends.
And they won't contact you in between. That's what they said.
One of my friends. Yeah, be patient. One of my friends says it's happened to a few friends. And unfortunately, all of them that he knows have had to just start over. And it freaked me out because I'm like, I've got a lot of stuff on there of my stuff that I like, I want to keep, and I just store it there. So I actually went and changed my password.
Good job, Carrie.
In case.
Did you enable 2-factor authentication like I told you?
I can't remember.
It's a weird little thing, but I think that's how they got mine. So in other words, if they had just gotten the password, I was able to get back in and reset the password.
Okay.
But because I had not had 2-factor authentication enabled, what they did is they enabled it with a different email address.
Oh my gosh.
And so every time I go in, I couldn't disable it.
Okay.
And because I couldn't disable it, 3 minutes later, they're right behind me knocking me out.
Wow.
And I'm sure a techie person could deal, but I am not a techie person.
Well, Facebook tech help is not very helpful.
So listen, this is AOC. AOC,
Oh my gosh,
she's on the
yes. Do you have
international
some
stage.
Some
But this is a
AOC?
little montage of her answering questions this last week. It was a question about Taiwan. I don't have her full answer. I just have this montage.
I can't wait.
They ask her
She's on
if
fire right now.
China goes into Taiwan, what would what would she do? And of course she had no answer at all.
Oh my gosh.
Because she has no idea. But this is great because what they did is they cut up AOC's answer from last week, montage
is this
with
like an edit?
Miss Teen of South Carolina 2007.
Is this an edit? Oh no.
Yes, it's so great.
Okay.
It's not AI. It's just
It's an edit.
yes.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so. This is such a, I think that people out there in our nation don't have that. And I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and this is a,
ouch.
This is, of course, a very longstanding policy of the United States. And the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help Iraq and the Asian countries.
And our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
That's your future Democratic presidential nominee right
Do
there.
Do you think?
I don't know. People talk about it.
Dude.
And I would have said no, but Kamala was so stupid. It's hard to imagine that they wouldn't run. I mean, hell, they could put a poodle up there and get the same amount of intellectual activity.
I know, but I think after Kamala, I don't think they'll go with her.
There's talk about Kamala running again. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You know what's great about that? She would not win the primary.
She's never gotten over 1% of the vote in a primary.
Right. The only reason that she ran is because they hijacked the primary process last time. But I think Todd, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine her running. That's hysterical. No, I mean they're gonna pick someone like Newsom or who else is super camera loving besides AOC. Oh, Newsom and AOC would be
That's
the ticket.
there's thoughts about that. I kind of suspect it'll be somebody. I suspect it'll be somebody that's not on the radar right now.
Okay.
I suspect we're going to get something of a Bill Clinton type figure. Now, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean it'll be somebody as good as Clinton or that'll win or whatever. That's not my point. My point is Clinton kind of just came out of the pack as kind of that dark horse.
Yep.
If you remember, probably back in the day, back at that time, Gary Hart was one of the front runners, and then Clinton took him out with that sex scandal. I don't know if Clinton did, but I got a feeling that they might have been behind the leak. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Hillary's pretty good at taking people out. And so once Gary Hart, he was wiped off the stage, that kind of cleared the runway for Clinton.
But he was, he was just the governor of Arkansas before that?
He was the governor of Arkansas.
So,
but he was relatively unknown. He was kind of like a Carter-esque,
and do you know,
Southern, had kind of a charming little, accent.
If they, and
chicks liked him.
super smart. And he was super smart. And
Bill was, and
really
he was charming.
Very charming. So I think if they do that again, if they choose to do that again, it will be because everyone who's on the radar, who we know on the map right now, their record is so shitty that they're just never going to be able to overcome it. So they would have to pick an unknown, and so they can at least portray kind of like they tried to do with Tim Walz.
Tim Walz.
I mean, he was out of nowhere.
Somalian.
And the more we got to know him.
Grand Marshal of the Minnesota Somalian Parade.
It's wild.
Do you want... I told you we talked some Epstein stuff last week. I have a clip of Sean Ryan going the hell off on MAGA and Trump about Epstein. And I talked about it I talked about how he was starting to lose Sean Ryan and some of these types of people with this Epstein stuff. Do you want to hear that or don't you want to hear that?
It's fine.
I mean, it
Yep.
represents some frustration of what's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
And if people are wondering what's going on, I don't know, maybe we won't listen to the whole thing, but it will give people a flavor, I guess. I mean, because he's pretty articulate.
Mhm.
You've been a fan kind of in the
I
past, haven't
haven't
you?
listened to him recently, but yes, I have listened to his show before. He's very good.
Let's give him a little bit of a. I don't listen to him a lot. Again,
Mhm.
that's not
There's
nothing against
no,
Sean.
there's just so much to listen to.
Yeah, I
I
just you
mean,
pick and
if you're
choose.
listening to the Wildly Opinionated News Hour and Beers with Jesus every week,
Not just listening, producing, doing,
no,
promoting,
I mean,
editing, getting out.
I just
Yeah, I
mean,
don't have a
I
lot of
mean
time.
me.
You don't have time. I understand.
Yeah.
Here's Sean. Let's hear
Okay.
this. He's heat big upset about the Epstein stuff.
Okay. He should be.
Maybe he should be. I don't know.
I've been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day, talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck, because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with.
Mhm.
But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp.
Makes a good point.
Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp?
Mhm.
It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter.
Cover your ears,
You're not
darling.
gonna take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in what, a year? It's only been a fucking year. Look at all the fucking lies.
You think he's a little upset?
He sounds pissed.
I don't even know. I'm not entirely sure what all the lies he's talking about are.
Me neither. But I mean, I think he's. I mean, I think he has unrealistic expectations about what you can get done in this period of time.
He needs to have a conversation with Ben Franklin, who said politics is the art of the possible.
But
Go
I think
ahead.
he's right that we want something done about this. If you know there are pedophiles working, like leading our country, get them the F out. Just do it. But
Do you remember what Todd Blanche said? The deputy DOJ, deputy attorney general guy.
the one who was like,
If you
that
think
guy?
that we have a bunch of evidence on a bunch of pedophiles sitting around here, we're not going after them.
Mhm.
You're crazy.
Okay. It's that
I
we don't.
mean-
It's that we don't have enough, right?
But he doesn't believe them. And you know what? I
Well,
can't. I
yeah.
mean, how can I fault anybody for not believing the FBI?
Mhm.
I'm not. Listen,
Yeah.
I get it, Sean. I'm not. I'm
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
He's just that there's a level of frustration that, and he embodies it pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk to you about something else too.
Uh-oh.
Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, running around giving Ro Khanna and Massey all this shit because they accidentally put two names that are apparently innocent, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got fucking news for you. You have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing shit, and you give them shit because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the fucking job of the entire Department of Justice, because nobody over there will do their fucking job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison.
Okay.
Yep.
That's enough.
He's
it's
he's
it's
pretty
the
angry.
flavor that we need to. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
I hear you.
What do you think, Carrie?
I understand his frustration. I'm trying to be optimistic and believe that if they have the evidence, that they are simply getting ready to do it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't know why they would release all of this stuff and then not do anything about it. Like, do something about it and then say, here's why these people are arrested. And then people will be like, holy shit. instead they're just like, what, putting it out on the DOJ website, keeping, middle-aged women up at night with bad dreams and making everybody say like, that's like too crazy. No way that's happening. Or I don't know. It's weird. So
it's a difficult position that the Trump administration has been put in, just to begin with, on the whole thing. They've also made it more difficult for themselves with what they've done.
Yes.
And I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know that there's still a lot of there's a lot of just a lot of angst out there. I think that no matter what happened, whenever this finally came out, whatever administration, they would get some of the blowback on it, because it's been so poorly handled by successive administrations that I think so. What you've got is a story that everybody kind of believes in. It seems like it's kind of true about jerky and pizza and
right.
And all of the things everybody thought were crazy start to seem true. Right. That's what Joe Rogan said last week. We played that clip, I think. It's like, I didn't think any, but now it looks like they're eating babies. Right.
Right. And
so when that starts to be, when people start to wrap their minds around that, now the problem is, I don't think any of that evidence exists. Like I said, I think CIA, Mossad, when I say it doesn't exist in something that the DOJ can prosecute.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
might the FBI at the time, whether it was Biden or whether it was Obama or whoever, might they have turned their head and covered their eyes while the CIA took everything? Maybe. I'm not saying that they're not implicated. My only point is that who's ever there now, I don't expect that there's a pile of files that are like, oh yeah, this guy's a pedophile, and this guy, and this politician, and this politician, and they're just like, we just don't want to look at that. I just don't think that. I don't think the hard evidence exists to prosecute them. Now, in place of that, you're getting something of a public shaming, almost like they did with the Me Too stuff. It's real. Clay Travis made that comparison, and he wasn't wrong on it. You know what I mean? It's that McCarthyism we talked about last week.
Yes.
So you're getting it on both sides. Bill Maher had had Lauren Boebert on, who's a congresswoman from Colorado. And this other cat, what's his name? He's a Democrat congressman from
I've seen him before.
Yeah, James Tallarico. He's in Texas.
Okay.
And I think he's running against Jasmine Crockett's seat was eliminated in redistricting, and I think there's something going on where he's running against Jasmine Crockett for something.
Okay.
In Texas. I'm not entirely
If it's
congressional. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Democrat.
Okay.
So this is Bill Maher. This is Bill Maher's show, and it has Lauren Boebert, Republican congresswoman from Colorado.
Okay.
And James Tallarico.
QAnon was wrong about one big thing. They thought Donald Trump was the one to take down this secret pedophile ring, when he is mentioned 38,000 times in the Epstein files. He flew repeatedly on Epstein's private jet and then lied about it. He sent Epstein a happy birthday card with a picture of a naked woman talking about their, quote, wonderful secret.
What?
So the fact that QAnon thought that guy was going to take down the secret pedophile ring when he's right in the middle of it, I think was clearly wrong.
Who's the president right now? President Trump. Who signed the order to release the files? President Trump did.
Well, there's a lot of pressure from folks like you to make him do that.
And I'm proud to have done so, but he also signed it the same day it was passed.
To be fair, to show I don't have Trump derangement syndrome, this also came out that the sheriff in Palm Beach testified that in 2006, Trump called and said, everybody knows what's going on there. I got the hell out of there, and you should stop doing this.
Yes.
So, like Trump, he's his own worst enemy. He should have just said that instead of saying, I never knew him, I have my picture taken with a lot of people. He could have just said that to begin with. It would have been a much better version.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the typical Democrat talking points on Trump and the Epstein files.
So is that accurate? Is
I
it
want people to ask themselves
okay?
if they think that the Biden administration was sitting on all of this proof
Yeah.
that Trump was a pedophile on the level of Jeffrey Epstein, but instead they decided to go after him on a clerical error in New York for 34 felonies. That's what you think? You think that, no, they just decided to go after him on 4 separate cases that were nothing burgers when they really had the juiciest mother. It's insane. Who would believe such a
Right.
thing?
It makes no sense.
Trump's the most investigated person probably in American history. Probably, this is shocking to say, he's probably one of the cleanest people in American history. No one has been investigated as much as Donald Trump. Nobody has the deep state and the elites wanted to destroy more than Donald Trump. And you think that they had all this evidence about him being a pedophile and they were just like, nah, we'll go with the clerical errors. We'll go with him overvaluing Mar-a-Lago. What? Who could honestly believe such a thing? Given what we saw them do for the past 4 years when Trump was out of office. It's asinine to me, the entire idea. And that Bill Maher doesn't say that. Like, this is easy, Bill.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
You know
What,
what I
what's the
mean?
claim of this birthday card and whatever? And who would write that? What
There was
idiot
some fake card. It looked like
idiot would write,
it didn't
"Oh,
even.
our wonderful secret"? Like what?
It looked like something that was fake because Trump would never. There's no history of him sending any of this.
Yeah.
It all looks stupid.
Yeah.
This is another clip from the same show.
Mm-hmm.
This is still Boebert and Bobo, whatever you want to call her, and Bill Maher. So this one, I think Bill Maher is not buying that maybe they're eating babies.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
He's questioning the validity of that.
yeah.
Okay.
You want to take a quick break, Carrie?
No, I wanted to know if we're almost done.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
You want to be done? You just want to call? You want to call it a day?
I have to go soon. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. We'll fit it. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get this
Sorry.
and then we'll wrap.
I don't want to cut out stuff, but yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I don't even know what time it is. It's how little attention I'm paying to life. All right, let's hear what he says.
Okay.
I apologized to QAnon a couple of weeks ago. I said, when it comes to this Epstein stuff, you had it righter than me. Now, they also believe a lot of real batshit nonsense. But when it
now you think it's batshit,
they
right?
don't eat babies. Democrats don't eat babies. You think they eat babies?
There is a lot of consumption talk in the stuff. Now, if are there babies? I don't know. No, you can laugh all you want. But I mean, there is some sick stuff in here that is implying.
But that's not eating babies.
Maybe,
come on.
I'm not saying they're eating babies. I'm saying there is talk of consumption, and it ain't pizza. And I'm not saying that I am QAnon by any means, but this is deep, dark, satanic, awful, sacrificial, and this stuff is gross.
See, this is what I'm saying. Here I am sacrificing myself, saying, you know what, I was wrong, QAnon, and then you don't meet me halfway. You insist they might be eating babies.
It might be that there isn't a meeting point halfway.
Right.
Here's what it is. QAnon said there's this vast elites around the world conspiracy to, traffic kids and pedophiles, and they were more right than I thought they were. Okay, so that's what I'm giving you. And it wasn't just Prince Andrew in the parlor with the dildo, okay? I apologize.
All right.
Wow.
So Bill doesn't quite go there yet.
But you know what? Because it's so crazy. It's so unbelievable.
Right.
But
I mean, Joe Rogan's read him and he's like, man, I don't know.
Right. I mean, what does he think it's about?
He just hasn't. It'll eventually get there. You know what I mean?
It's so awful. I mean, I'm sure he didn't believe
It'll
that
eventually get there for Bill Maher, where
they
he'll
were
be
eating
like,
the dogs. Like, I'm sure he didn't.
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
One last thing, Gary,
Yeah.
then we'll leave, and this will
Okay.
be a short one.
Okay.
And this is not political. This is something I have never heard before.
Okay.
In my life.
This is a non-political corner here at the
The Dark Ages. Have you ever heard this? This is some conspiracy about the Dark Ages are visible in basically every metric, no matter how absurd.
Okay, and yeah, what does that mean?
No matter how, where am I at here? Historical records. Basically, the idea is that the Dark Ages never actually happened.
Well, what's the Dark Ages? What
Europe
does that
never had
mean?
a Dark Age. It's from 600 AD to 900 AD.
Okay.
It had just had a period in which population declined, currency was in limited supply, emissions fell, building and inventing became rare, records were limited, long-distance trade networks were severed. Basically, they don't have any artifacts from this 300 years. And so the idea behind this is that we're currently in the year like 1796, but that the Catholic Church, Pope Otto the First or something, made up this 300-year period that enabled him to be Pope 1,000 years after Christ.
What?
And that this 300 years never actually, they call it the Dark Ages because there's no recorded literature, there's no artwork, there's no anything.
It says here it's after the collapse of the Western Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the idea is that they created this and that this is like a lie that never even happened.
Oh, that this period of time was just like constructed?
Yeah. Yeah. Just made up out of whole cloth, and that we aren't actually 2,000 years removed from Christ. We're about 1,700 or 1,800.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Have you ever heard that?
I have not heard that.
Like,
I have not heard that.
One of the examples is that the Louvre, which is that big museum in Paris,
yes,
they have no artifacts at all from this 300-year period. They have
nothing,
stuff before, and they have stuff after.
Not even like a clay pot or a scrap of fabric.
Nothing. That's why they call them the Dark Ages, because there's just nothing there.
It's so weird.
Isn't that wild? I gotta look into this more. I'm not prepared yet, guys. I just had to bring it up and just give you a little taste.
Items on display in the Louvre by date of creation. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Even okay, how old does that graph go? What's the year? What's the period of time?
It goes
on the far
from
left?
4000 BC.
Oh my gosh, they have stuff
to
in the
2000
Louvre.
AD.
They have stuff in the Louvre from 4000 BC, but don't have anything for a 300-year period.
Right. That's what they're saying, I guess. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, I got to look into it more, guys. This is our next conspiracy theory. They've been lying to us about everything.
You know what? I think that the moon people came during that time.
They were like, wait a tick.
Interesting.
Because back then, nobody could read.
Okay.
By and large, the populace was illiterate.
Okay.
And so they relied on the church/state for, everything. And so the idea is that the church, I'm saying church/state because it was kind of mixed up at that point. And the Pope kind of ruled as I don't know, emperor for a while. Remember, there was that kind of mix up and things just kind of got mashed together between church and state.
I mean,
and the ruling institutions and things.
I mean, I feel like it was like that
and
for
it was
a long time.
post-Roman Empire fall. It was kind of that
Okay.
late Roman Empire, into because for a while after the Roman Empire fell, the church was still kind of holding things together.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
feel like that was there was always a strong overlap of them at that
Well, there
time.
was post-Constantine. Like that's 300 years after Christ. Constantine converts to Christianity, puts the crosses on the shields. And then from then on, you had this kind of, that's where the Catholic Church kind of comes in, and it's kind of mixed up with the state for most of its history.
Okay.
Less so now maybe than ever, probably. But, or
Wow.
in the modern age, I mean. So anyway, we're going to look into that. We're going to look into the Dark Ages a little bit more, guys. And we're going to try to see whether they lied to us about 300 years of human history.
I want to know who was in on this. Does the FBI? Oh,
Like look into it.
Yeah.
According to Pam Bondi, there's binders about this on her death.
I'm sure they're
And
in
Sean
the file.
Ryan's really mad about being lied to about those 300 years. Somebody's got to pay.
I wonder what the Supreme Court will say about it.
All right, guys.
Wow.
The Supreme Court will come out and be like, we officially think there was 300 years, but we have no official proof of it, and we don't really care if anybody actually believes us.
Right. Our decision is
That's
final.
our decision.
Our decision is final.
Final and meaningless. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. Carrie, we're going to get out of here so Carrie can go do whatever she's got to do. And I got things I should probably do too, but who knows
We
what
have stuff
today.
to do. I could talk all day, but I do have to.
I
I've got to
know.
go get
All
to
right,
work.
guys. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
Catch
so
us with
much.
beers tomorrow.
Mhm.
ToddsWorld.net. Subscribe every week, Tuesdays. You get your news. Send us comments. If you've got anything on
please.
Epstein that we need to know, recipes.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, this is the new thing.
No. Recipes for sleeping despite the atrocities that are being revealed to us.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me, Carrie.
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you so much for being with us. We will catch you next week.
Sounds good.